Hello friends, welcome here. I want to share all of the books on my physical TBR, and these are the books. Now, I went through this already and I'm like, there's not a lot here, and I am very proud of myself. I've been doing a lot of work over the past 3 years to really cut down on the amount of books that I own in general, and then to only buy books that I'm really interested in, that I want to read right away, or I even just read from the library and I'll buy the book if I really liked it. So yeah, I don't have a huge physical TBR and I'm really happy about that. I've been working hard to make sure that that is the case. I want to just have a really manageable collection, which I do. If you remember, one of my reading goals for this year is to read 12 books off of my physical TBR, and it's definitely going to be doable. I definitely think that I can do it, and I'm excited to see what my TBR looks like at the end of the year. My plan is to only show you the fiction books that are on my TBR, not the nonfiction. Nonfiction is different. I'm open to having a little bit more of a collection of nonfiction that I haven't read, because I do think that I'll read them all eventually. Whereas with fiction, if I lose interest, it's unlikely that I'll ever read it again. So there's that. So no nonfiction, although there are some dispersed in here. This top shelf, all of these books I've read, I just needed another shelf for read books. So here it is. All of the white colored books are here. But this shelf and this shelf, I haven't read these books. And then if you can see, I don't know if you can, up here, I haven't read these books either, but they're kind of decoration at this point, so I don't care if I read them as much now. So these are not going to be in the collection. And you're going to recognize a lot of these books because I've put them in various videos and it feels good. And then there's also some new books that are kind of a Christmas book haul, if you will, that you'll see. So I'm excited to show you all these books. Let's go. Number 1, Falling for Your Best Friend by Emma St. Clair. And I'm really excited about this. I've actually already started it, so I'm already really into it. I'm excited. So yeah, I love the best friend trope, as you guys know. So this is the first one. I'm going to leave it off because I'm actually reading it. Here's a nonfiction. Then this is another reread, This Present Darkness. So technically it should be on my right shelf, but I am in the middle of reading it. So, okay, you guys have seen this one, The First Taste by Anna Conwell. This is for sure getting read this year, and I'm very excited to get into it. Another Friends to Lovers, I think. And you'll notice a lot of my great contemporary romance books that I own are gifts from subscribers, and I'm so thankful for that. So it's very exciting, and these are the kind of books that I want on my TBR. If I'm gonna have one, I want books like this because then I'll actually read them and want to pick them up. Piercing the Darkness, this is also going to be on my TBR whenever I finish This Present Darkness, but yeah, I just put it out here because if I don't have a designated shelf for my TBR books, I'll forget about them and I will not read them. So if I know that I want to reread a book, I have to pull it out and make sure I put it on my TBR shelf so that I actually read it. Okay, here is the last book in the Love Clichés series, I think it's called, Falling for Your Enemy. Definitely want to get into this after the best friend one, so yay. Okay, you have seen this one. I have A Lady in Attendance by Rachel Fordham. I'm also one who puts bookmarks in books because it's supposed to be a mental thing where I'll actually read the book if there's a bookmark in it, or I'm more likely to pick it up sooner with a bookmark in it. So that's why I do that. But yeah, I'm excited about this one. This is her latest release, other than The Letter Tree. So I think it's going to be good, but it is historical and then it has a lot of fall vibes, so I'll probably save it for the fall time. Okay, here's a new one. This is Start With Me by Kara Isaac. This was a gift from a subscriber recently. Sebastian, thank you so much for this. I am so excited about it. So Kara Isaac, if you remember, she wrote Then There Was You, which is a favorite of all time. I love this book. It is a contemporary Christian romance, and it's set in Australia, which is really fun. This one, I don't know where it's set. I haven't read much about it. I like going into books like this blind and just going for the ride. So very excited to get into this. I think I'll definitely be reading it sooner in the first half of the year. Okay, you've seen this one, A Season to Love by Nicole Deese. Definitely want to get into this one. So excited to have more Nicole Deese to read. I really like her writing. And Rachel Fordham, we got it. The Hope of Azure Springs, and then Yours Truly, Thomas. I want to read all of her books that I haven't read yet this year, so these two will be read as well. Okay, you've seen this one, Invitation by 4 authors. It's a novella collection. It's the first book in a series, and it's spiritual suspense, I think. So I'm definitely curious about it. I just have to be in the right headspace to get into something like this. I'm definitely in the like, give me light and fluffy right now. Okay, another one. I got this for Christmas. It's called Targeted, and this is a novella collection as well. So it has Lynette Eason, Lynn Blackburn, and Natalie Walters. I've never read from Lynn Blackburn or Natalie Walters before, but I've heard great things about their individual books and their series. So I think this will be a really good one to get a sampling of their writing. And I already know that I like Lynette Eason's writing. And I think this came out in 2023, and I think some of my friends even reviewed it. So I'm happy to have it myself now. I don't know if they're like connected or if they're like completely separate, if they relate to these authors' other series. No idea. But either way, I'll give it a go and we'll see how it is. And you've already seen this. Okay, so excited about these books. A Seaside Wonder, Wedding at Sea by Melissa Teague, and I can't wait to read these books. Again, they kind of have like fall winter vibes, which we're in winter, so I could justify reading them then, but I don't know if I can wait. I think I need to read these ASAP. So that's the thing, like all of these books that I've showed so far, I'm like excited to read. I want to read them soon, and that's how I want to feel about my TBR books. So look at that, we're doing well. Okay, I don't think I've ever shown this book. This is The Huntress of Thornbeck Forest by Melanie Dickerson. And some of my friends, some of the Christian booktubers in the world love this author, and I've never read her books before. I think she writes like medieval, I don't know if it's Christian, but it's like clean medieval fiction. I think it's YA too. Anyways, this is a library book that the library gave to me because it's like pretty water damaged. This is like a nasty beat up book, but I got it for free from the library, so thank you for that. And I do plan to read it this year and give it a try. I've never tried this author before, so I don't know anything about her. I don't know anything about her books. I think this is the first book in a series, but what do I know? So yeah, let me know if you think this is a good place to start with this author. I don't know if you can see this, but these books I've already read. I don't even know why they're there. What do we got? I don't know. I mean, this is a library book, but this is the sequel to the Cursebreakers series. This is called Forging Silver into Stars by Bridget Kemmerer. This follows the kids of the characters from the Cursebreakers, and I'm so excited. So I got it from the library. I don't think I'll read it anytime soon, to be honest. I kind of just like request books randomly from the library, and if I don't get to them, it's fine because I can return them and then try them again later. So that's probably what I'll do with this book because it is a pretty big commitment. And if it's the start of a series, there's not even like talk of when another book is coming out, so I don't know if I want to get into it, but like I also really do. So we'll see. But anyways, I put it on my TBR shelf because I do want to read it. Oh, and I will say this shelf, all of these books behind, I've read them. I just needed a place to put them, so that's why they are here. Okay, Under the Magnolias by T.I. Lowe. Why have I not read this yet? I don't know. Like, this is so beautiful. I'm really interested in it, but I think there's a bit of a historical, yeah, it's set in the 1980s, which isn't like too bad. I can handle that. That's not too late for me. So I definitely, yeah, I want to try this. I loved Lulu's Cafe by this author. I was like, 3 stars with Indigo Isle, her latest release. So I don't know how I'll feel about this one, but it's just such a beautiful book. Like she scores on her covers. Like T.I. Lowe has amazing covers. Good job, Tyndale. You publish good books. Okay, then we've got Always Watching by Lynette Eason. I've had this book for so long. This is the start of her Elite Guardians series, and I don't know why I can't bring myself to read this book. I'm like, I don't know, like I struggle with romantic suspense. I think I've said this before. Sometimes they all feel the same. They feel kind of like repetitive and boring to me, but the stuff that I've read from Lynette Eason, I like her writing. I like the way she writes action and romance. So I don't know. And I've actually heard good things about this series too, but there's that. I've had that for a long time. Oh, I've got a Charles Martin book, Water from My Heart. I've heard this one is gut-wrenching, which all of his books are, and I have to be in the right mood to read Charles Martin, but I really love his writing. It's so poetic and beautiful. And so, yeah, this is the one that I haven't read, so we'll see if I get to it. Ooh, The Last Sin Eater by Francine Rivers. Yeah. This is also historical. That's why I'm afraid to start it, because like I looked at the first page and I was like, oh no. And I know myself now, And so if I feel those feelings, like, okay, mid 1850s, yeah. If I feel those feelings, I need to just like say, it's fine, don't read it, okay? But it's Francine Rivers, so I do want to read it, but there will come a time when I'm like, you know what? I had a great long break from historical fiction. Let's dip your toes in, okay? And it's probably going to be a Rachel Fordham, but still, Francine Rivers, how can I say no? She's amazing, and I'm so curious. I have no idea what a sin eater is, so I want to know, and Francine Rivers can teach me. Okay, I've also had this book for so long, Edge of Eternity by Randy Alcorn. This book, I think it's like major allegory, so I'm like, do I want to get into that? I don't know. I'm curious enough, that's why I'm holding on to it, so, you know. Okay, next, Never Look Back by Kathy Herman. I don't know why I've held on to this. I think just like something about it intrigues me. It sounds like it's going to be very faith-filled because like God is mentioned on the back. So one of the lines is, Ivy's on the verge of despair and wonders if even God has given up on her. And like clearly he hasn't. So I want to know about that, right? So I have no plans to read this anytime soon, but it is on the TBR. Okay. My Soul to Keep, Davis Ben. I want to read this, but I don't know why I can't make myself read it. Like, books like this take brain power. They're like more literary fiction, I guess, than romance. Although this looks like we're following like a nice big group of people and it's like based in Hollywood. I think that I will like this book, but I don't know what this author's writing is going to be like. I've read like academic articles by this author, but not fiction. So I don't know how I'm going to like it, but I have held on to this book for years now, and someday I might actually try it. Okay, I also have these books by Francine Rivers, the Marta's Legacy books, Her Mother's Hope and Her Daughter's Dream in hardcover. I'll read these eventually, but like they're chunkers and I'm just not in the mood for it, so I've been holding on to them. I think they're historical as well, although the daughter one might not be, but the mother one, I mean, look at that picture. It looks like it will be. So anyways, I own these and they're gonna sit on my shelf and I'm fine with that. The rest are nonfiction, so that's amazing. Those are all the books. So it's not a lot and it's so doable and I feel really good about it. And if I want to read a book, I get it from the library, and if I really like it, I'll buy it. But even if it's like 4 stars or lower, I don't need to own it because I probably won't read it again. I like owning books that I will read again, and maybe if they're really pretty, if they have a nice cover, but even then I don't feel the need to own every book that I've ever read. And no shade on anyone who likes to own books. It is totally a hobby and there's nothing wrong with it. I just have like gone through years of like wanting to own all the books and buy everything and use Book Outlet and all the things, and that has kind of drained out of my system. I don't feel that way anymore, and there's other things that I want to save my money for. So yeah, my philosophy on that. But you are allowed to like your books. You're allowed to have lots of books and lots of TBR books. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll link my last year's video down below because I did do this last year. It probably looks pretty different, although there are some that are probably in that video that are here now today. So, you know, it's okay. And that is everything, you guys. Thank you for watching this. I hope the angle was okay, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!